Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Saadiq, also known as the Black Yul Brenner. I should also say that the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. And I also want to say a big giant thank you and welcome to my moderators. Yeah, you guys are the best. I could not and would not do this without you as you hold down the comment section. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say also off the top, I'm going to try my best to get to everybody at least once. It's a great thing that we're growing here, but sadly, I can't get to everybody's comment over and over again like I used to, but I'm going to try. As y'all know, last Friday or Thursday, I worked up a sweat, right? I was trying to get everybody's comments and stuff. So y'all forgive me for not, if I don't get to everybody at least, or, twice, but I'll try once. Anyway, the reason we're here today is a Black politician compared immigrants being deported to the horrific slave trade. I got the evidence. I got the video. In fact, I have a video compilation for you. And we've talked about him before, Mr. Isaac Bryan. He's an assemblyman in California. He represents the 55th district, mostly comprised of South Central Los Angeles, and he is a clown. I've talked about him a copious amount of times, and I made it my mission to continue talking about the California Legislative Black Caucus and what they did to Black Californians in California by blocking, like literally blocking reparations bills. So we're going to get into all of that today. Who else do I have on here before I give it to Donovan? Gloria, how you doing? Yes, I'm not anywhere near the flooding that is going on here in Texas. Is more so toward central Texas, where it's a lot of devastation. I guess a rain cloud or whatever it is, just kind of stayed over that area, caused a lot of flood, devastation, and death. I mean, it was literally wiping houses off of the foundation and just sweeping it, right? So, RIP to those people, and it's a lot. People are still missing, but I'm nowhere near that. But thanks for asking. S. Edgy, how you doing? Ferris, what's going on with you? Seth, what's going on? Sagittarius Goddess, Quicks, long time no see. Mike Nice, hope you're doing well. Buck Horse in his house. Sagittarius Goddess, how you doing? D Mac, what's going on with you? Who else? Marjorie, Arneba, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I hope I got everybody. But Donovan, Brother Reggie, I can't forget you, Triple OG. Hey, Donovan, how you doing?
Hey, another day. It's 3 o'clock. That means here on the West Coast, that means it's Demetra K time. Welcome to the show. You guys being the co-host, you guys are holding it down. Great conversations. If you guys want to continue to have these great conversations, there's a way you can do that. There's a scrolling banner at the bottom. It says, please donate. If you like to donate to keep the show going and keep the content creator motivated, you can do so by Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo, cash, money order, however, barter system, I don't know. But everything that you guys do to contribute, keep the show going, it does help. Also, do not forget about the African Diaspora News channel. You can download that, Google Play and the Apple Store. You can download it. Not only do you get videos that you already see on YouTube, you get videos you don't see on YouTube. So it's a great way to do that. And I think minimum once, maybe twice a year, there's a Brother Phil Scott gives a discount on it. And I'm telling you, it makes great gifts. Knowledge is power. A lot of great programming is starting to come on. And the app is actually evolving into different aspects of things. So very important. You guys heard about the Haitians that have been temporary status has been revoked and they have to go back. Again, what about temporary don't people understand? Temporary is temporary. It's not a way to citizenship. It's a temporary status of protection. But then again, it doesn't make any sense because they said for Americans not to travel to Haiti because it's very dangerous, but we're going to send these people back to their, anyway. So you got that going on as well. The Congo, Rwanda peace negotiations that actually happened, another good thing there. The French, what is that? The group that just took the uranium back. They kicked the French out, and the French took another L from the uranium of the, I forgot what country it is, but I saw it earlier this morning. A lot of stuff going on in the African diaspora. You guys have got to pay attention to what is happening because fundamentally what happens to them happens to us. in some way, somehow. And the best way you guys could keep up on that, because the Operation Mockingbird is in full effect. You're not going to get that information on local news here. African Diaspora News Channel app. Download it, watch it, play it. It's a great gift. Knowledge is power. So this situation here, I am in California as well, and I'm going to tell you, I've never seen such coonery. Do you have our friend Ricky Rocket? I think you're going to need him for this story. So again, you guys do a great job. Miss Sweets, I watched your video late or early this morning. So I hope everything is going great with you. I know you're having a little battle with your apartment, other situations there. Please, you know, keep your chin up, keep going.
Yes, indeed. So I think I said hello to everybody, and I will try my best as soon as I come back from saying what I got to say. Okay, so let's get to why we're here. Anyway, as you guys know, when I say we, I mean y'all celebrated the 4th of July. And of course, that's the celebration of America's freedom in 1776. And so every year there's these big, celebrations and things like that. Well, this particular assemblyman, Isaac Bryan, again from Los Angeles, California, who was also one of the main culprits that was blocking the reparations bills that were supposed to go to the governor to be vetoed or voted on. They didn't even take it to the floor at all. Right now, he's the one that y'all saw crossing his arms, and now y'all gonna see him do a little bit of that. But I'm going to show y'all a compilation of this man, and I say this just and the foolishness. Are y'all ready? All right, here we go.
I was thinking about the Declaration of Independence and what it means to be an American. I was thinking about the Americans who have been unjustly detained by immigration enforcement and the National Guard patrolling Los Angeles. I think about what the Declaration of Independence means to an immigrant today, knowing that our founding fathers were all immigrants. And I was thinking about something I share every 4th of July, and that is what to the slave is the 4th of July, a speech given by Frederick Douglas, who spoke very strongly about the hypocrisy of America celebrating its independence while so many were still enslaved. The hypocrisy of our founding fathers to talk about the ideals of freedom and liberty and justice while owning and participating in slavery. If I'm quoting Frederick Douglass today, he said, "I say it with a sad sense of disparity between us. I am not included within the pale of your glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us." Thinking about him saying that and knowing what the federal government is doing at this exact moment, creating greater distance between us. Folks who have health care, folks who do not. Folks who get tax breaks, folks who do not. Folks who have plenty of food to eat, folks who do not. Those whose humanity and right to exist in this country is protected and defended, and those who it is not. So as we celebrate this 4th of July, like my colleague mentioned so eloquently, I hope that it's a moment for that reflection, but even more so a call to action to fulfill those ideals that our founding fathers talked about and truly build an America that's inclusive of all of us. I respectfully ask for your vote.
You could cite that was saying, don't do this.
Well, the main one was Isaac Bryan.
Somebody write his name down, fam.
We got it.
And that's the guy. That's the guy he sent you a video of.
No, we got
and
it.
Then
when they come for Los Angeles, that's when we stand up and show what true solidarity looks like. So talk to us about what solidarity looks like and what is your call to action for people watching.
I think it's kind of crazy that they would execute this kind of raid in Los Angeles the same day the president is talking about withholding our own tax dollars from us, right? Instead of helping the 1 in 8 Americans who live in California. They're demonizing our state and attacking our people. That is when we rally together. We rallied together after the LA fires and during the fires when we provided mutual aid and resources for people who need it. Now seeing our brothers and sisters unjustly detained, terrorized, and scared, we will step up. We're tired of seeing our kids in our schools detained. We're tired of being afraid. If all you have to do is attack folks at Home Depot, then you're not doing a great job of governing this country.
I'm going to remove him. All right. So just to give you guys, a little summation. So the first clip was him on 4th of July, or maybe a day before or after. I don't know. But y'all heard him talk about the Declaration of Independence and the four founding fathers. And then he talked about a speech he says he gives every year. What to a slave is the 4th of July is the title of the speech, by that of Frederick Douglass, who was an abolitionist, an orator, and a writer. Now, he escaped slavery himself, and once he escaped, he used his platform and his voice to speak out against slavery, because he gave that speech in 1852. Now, slavery was still going on, right? But it was an indictment, if you will, of the institution of slavery, and basically saying to white Americans, how dare you celebrate the 4th of July or Independence Day when you got slaves on the plantation? That's what Frederick Douglass was saying. Now, I looked at the speech, okay? And I didn't see nowhere that it said anything about no immigrants, okay? Nothing at all. But Isaac Bryan wove that into his little speech about the 4th of July because, yes, he has been going hard in the paint for mass immigration. There is a copious amount of footage out there of him marching with the immigrants and, going hard against the Trump administration. Because y'all know that earlier in June, the Trump administration, ICE, and the military, I forget that, but the military, they went in there, right? Getting the immigrants out of there. So, of course, I saw all the protests and all these things go forward. And again, Isaac Bryan was out there locking arms and everything with the immigrants. Now, let's go back to August of 2024, where he and the California Legislative Black Caucus was supposed to take those reparations bills to the floor, one for a Freedmen's Bureau and one for the money, right? They didn't do it. They had a whole lobby full of Black Californians hopeful and like, yes, we're finally here, right? Because it was a couple of years that they took to study it. So everybody was thinking, okay, great. Those jokers didn't even take it to the floor. Now, the man you saw Isaac Bryan arguing with was Assemblyman Bill Esseley. He represents Riverside. He was like, what's going on, right? What are all these people doing out here? So he went out there and talked to them. They're like, oh, well, the California Legislative Black Caucus, they're going to go and do the reparations bills. And he was like, no, they're not. They're not in there doing anything. So he said, okay, bet. I'm going to do it. Right now, he said he's not necessarily for reparations. He being Bill Esseley, he says, but he would rather that Black Americans get the money than the immigrants get it. So he said, I'm going to pull their card. So he went up in there. He says, well, I'd like to put the reparations bills to the floor. And that's when you saw Isaac Bryan, getting in his face and stuff. And they got into it because what Bill Esseley did was like, you busted. I'm going to show the people out here that are thinking that the Black politicians got their back, really don't, right? So from that point, we heard all about it. But let's get back to this joker, the sucker, having the audacity to liken what to a slave is the 4th of July to the immigrants. Y'all see how they play in our faces? See, I don't know if he thought that we would see this or if he thought that we would care or that we would just, I don't know what he thought. But how dare him? That has nothing to do. And again, I looked, nothing to do with immigrants, but you see how our Black politicians who masquerade as our leaders use things that were to liberate us. We're not liberated yet. Now, we ain't on those plantations, but we're still not liberated. But he thought he would hijack the speech of Frederick Douglass that was talking about our ancestors and use it to talk about the immigrants. For one, I don't care what you say, what you believe. I don't want to ever see no harm come to nobody. But immigrants that shouldn't even be over here in the first place. Keeping in mind, he didn't even tell us no. He didn't even take those bills to the floor, but he's telling his to go help immigrants when he don't even help his own people. And I see people saying that he's Hispanic. True indeed. We don't know what he is because his teenage mom, he seems to be white and black, but his teenage mom, who's born in Dallas, Texas, gave him up for adoption at birth. And then his foster parents moved or lived in California. So I don't know what he is. It doesn't say what exactly he is, because I was curious about that too. But this is what we're dealing with, y'all. Now, Isaac Bryant, along with a lot of the other assembly people in California, are up for re-election in 2026. It would be a doggone shame if Black people especially voted that clown back into office after he continues to show his natural behind to Black Americans while he puts on the cape for everybody else. Donovan, and I'm going to get to you guys' comments.
You said a word there. I think there is a epidemic happening across the political landscape, because not only is this clown doing that, how many of you guys remember, I think last year we showed the Martin Luther King Jr. of the California Assembly, Corey Jackson, who was also complicit, hiding and not bringing the reparations thing to a vote. I also want you guys to remember, and we have to state this, here in California, the Hispanics didn't want Black people to have the vote either, so they're complicit in us not getting reparations. As a matter of fact, they formed a coalition with the Asians that is still in existence, that is keeping us from getting reparations. They don't want us to have it, but yet notice now that the ice is on them, where's the Black people? Where's the help? But we're supposed to align with you, and you don't even keep the mestizos in your own nation correctly. You don't treat them correctly, dark-skinned Hispanics in your own country, and we're supposed to be stupid enough to ally with you? You had 60 years to ally with us. 60 years, but no, you didn't do that. What did you guys do? We're going to form East LA. We're going to form West Covina. We're going to form Koreatown, Armenia. All of these groups that came in off of our backs, not any of their ancestors had hoses turned on them, dogs turned on them, family members killed, fighting with the police. We've got people that are still incarcerated, the Black Panthers, that are still incarcerated to this very day. Some of them are on the run to this very day, fighting for civil rights. They didn't put no skin in the game, but here they are wanting us to join with them, and we see time after time they bring their racism here with them. They didn't leave their racism in their home country. They bring it with them. They don't want to ally with us, so we're done with that. But there's an epidemic with Black politicians, which is why I say, and excuse me, Demetra, Black politicians ain't ish. They're not. Because how many of you guys just recently saw the opening of Alligator Alcatraz? This morning, Florida state representatives were there caping for illegal immigrants, violent, criminal illegal immigrants at that facility. That is a temporary facility before they get deported. And yet you see Black representatives. I didn't see no white representatives. I think I maybe saw one. I don't know. I don't know who that person was. But the point is, in the forefront, I didn't see any Hispanic representatives out there. I saw Black representatives caping for the most violent immigrants that we have that need to be deported, and they're talking about, well, we got to make sure that they have bug spray. We got to make sure the toilets are running. Well, golly, up in Pelican Bay here in California, when was the last time you saw a Black representative go and check out and make sure that the Blacks up there and or just the American citizens are being treated fairly? Folsom Prison in Louisiana, nobody complains about Folsom Prison doesn't have a back gate. That's swamp too. But how many state representatives do you see going there for American citizens? None. What is going on with Black politicians willing to go to the carpet for people that can't even vote for them? What do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys think about this.
Yes, indeed. And once again, hello to everybody else that's come on here. So I'm going to jump into the comment section now. And I start with Tracy. He says they always lie to attach themselves to us. Yeah. And then, you have these so-called Black leaders helping them do it, right? And that this is, it's just so sad because, for one, they still haven't gotten the memo as to why the Democrats aren't in charge now in Washington, and they just keep on with the foolishness. Now, somebody asked, is his district majority Hispanic? It probably is now. Back in the day, South LA wasn't, right? But now, yeah, I would venture to say that it is. Brother Steven, how you doing? Tell your wife we said hello. Let's see here. Marjorie says he's not Black American, but where's the fight against Black hate crimes in the political system, judicial system, and police brutality? I don't know what he is. I don't know, because it doesn't say, right? His mom was a teenager and she gave him away at birth. So I don't know. I know that seems like he was raised by a white woman in foster care. She had a whole bunch of children from different, backgrounds. So I technically don't know what he is. And I don't know if he does either. So forgive me. Lanita, how you doing? Says, yep, he buck broke on the Democratic payroll. Love massa so much for a few crumbs. Yeah, he's gonna sell out Black people. Sharon, he says, I will never understand the flying of the Mexican flag of the country that you don't want to go back to. Somebody please explain this to me. That's so funny. I saw that sign somewhere. It was not too far from my house, and it said that same thing. Miss Shantae says, so you're talking to Benito. Benito, how you doing, Benito? M, how you doing? Says, put his name in the title. I put it in the comment, the description box. Isaac Bryan is his name. Cloudness, how you doing? Says, they're always trying to use Black American icons for the purpose without anything for Black Americans. And yeah, before wouldn't really, some of us would be bothered, but now we're to the point to where we're awake and we're like, sucker, nah. And you can even hear when he was trying to deliver it, he had a little interpretation in his voice, because he knew what he was saying was going to get him a kick in the tailbone from Black Americans. Because how dare you hijack what was for us, and it's still for us, and use it on people who wasn't even supposed to be here. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Thank you, Miss Sweets. I appreciate you for that. And Lene, what's going on with you? Says, I have no regrets about voting for Trump instead of Kamala. She would have been far worse. Warren says, Black people are heroes of the world. You better tell somebody. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sound like he says, yeah, I got my hair out today. It wasn't outside. It's in the house, though. If it's outside, it's going to... Lala, how you doing? Says, how you exploiting our struggle and then saying they built America? Shaking my head. And Shantae says he was adopted by a white woman. Yes, that is true. Gloria says, deport Isaac Bryan. Well, damn. Bernita, how you doing? Says, isn't his fiance Hispanic? I think she's mixed or something. She might be Hispanic, but she looks like she may be mixed, but maybe she is Hispanic. But you're right. She's something other than all Black. I guess I would say that. And our brother Reddy says, somebody check Isaac's papers, right? And Joanne says, entitled non-Black American politician cosplaying. Well, they've been doing it, right? And guess how old he is? He's very young. Isaac Bryan is only 32 years old, so he's young in the large scheme of things. And so, yeah, that also tells me that somebody has a key in his back, right? They're telling him what to do, how to say it, and all kind of stuff. And again, it's not the only one, because all of the Black California Legislative Black Caucus are on the same page. Oh, well, it's actually a multi-year study, so it needs a little bit more time. It was like, you took 3 years to do it. What are you talking about? And I think it was actually from 2020, so 4 years. Y'all studied this, millions of dollars spent for y'all to literally fold your hands and do nothing.
And guess who was on the study board? Their friends and their family members and people that they know. It's just another grift to give money to their friends and family to get nothing in the end. I think it was like $5 million was spent on a study that went into the hands of people who said, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And then at the end of it, nothing. Another grift.
Yeah. And how you doing, Diana? And Marjorie, you say delineation is the best thing to determine who's in favor of Black American issues. Time is up. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see who else is on here. Dear self, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. I see y'all saying deport Isaac Bryan. Samuel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Lance, what's going on with you? Says the 4th of July. You ain't lying. Mission Vision, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Lanita, I see you talking to Sharon. Okay, so let's see. Hello Love says a bunch of people who gave immigrants priorities over us is what you're saying. Shantae said that's why he keeps saying in his bald head. All right, let's see who else is on here. Mad Dog, how you doing? Hope you're doing well this fine Sunday afternoon. Shanette, what's going on with you? Says vote them out. Yeah, I mean they have their free election every 2 years, and you know somebody like Isaac Bryan could be in there for 40 years. You know what I mean? Doing the same old if he's not voted out now. As Edgy says, people that act like that suffer white hypnosis. Okay. Yeah, Brother Eddie says, Tom Holman, we got another one. Y'all better stop. DJ says they steal elections in Cali. I don't know what we could do. Well, you can have somebody that's overseeing it, you know, make sure that's not happening and actually get out there and vote. Those elections, the state and local elections have the lowest turnout. And they really do, right? Most people are concerned with the federal or the national election, not so much the state and local. And right there is where you see they have the biggest impact on you directly, right? So that's why it matters. Beverly, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. All right, let's see who else came on here. Conceded says, but y'all know Project 2025, but not Rex 84 or King Alfred's plan PPS 20. I don't even know what you're talking about. Maybe you could clarify for me. Michelle, how you doing?
Let me say something about that. It doesn't matter what plan it is. We're at the bottom of the economic system. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if a dictator takes over. It doesn't matter. What could happen to Black people that we haven't already experienced already? We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Stop with bringing all this BS Democratic talking points up. It's a waste of time. It's not working.
Absolutely. And Sandra, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Miss Sweet says time to vote these Democrats out of office, especially in California. Yep, she, her, love, life. How you doing? So y'all talking to Benito. Ursa, he says, and they shouldn't get the 14th Amendment. They weren't even here. Very true indeed, right? Celeste, how you doing? Says you're correct. We're going to have to clean house in all the state with our Black politicians. Yeah, they got to go. You know, get somebody in there who's going to actually do the job. Buckhorse, she says, we're going to be good. I never doubted my people. We are legendary by the living God. You better tell somebody. Who else is on here? And Joanne, you say FBI is wide open for any, not eyes wide shut. No more for no one. Okay. And Alicia says, that's right, Donovan, let them know. And who else is on here? Cloudness, she says, delineating change the game for FBA. Stay on code, Black first family. Yep. You're absolutely right. Hello, Love. It says immigrants pretending they are FBA. Is that right? When they weren't before, right? Before they didn't really want that. Conceded, says, why American Blacks think USA is their country. Whites don't want Blacks in USA, period. Now, that's a damn lie because they wanted us here when they kidnapped us and put us on those plantations. So you need to go and study history. Stop with the foolishness, okay? They wanted us here. Now, they might say they didn't want us here now or, you know, Black fatigue and all this other stuff. Well, it's like you should have thought about that before you went and got us because we wasn't trying to be around y'all, never no time. And y'all got us to be around you. And now that we're around you, and when we were around you, we built this country. We made sure that they were wealthy and they're still eating off that wealth today. So, yeah, I mean, I think you need to go in and do a refresher course on who we are to this country, if you don't mind. Get it, girl. How you doing? Says they will go to jail for immigrants. Yeah, and they have, right? 48 TCO says, was that Mexican lady that called for the gang members to come out there? And which lady is that?
That's the one lady from the one city that did it. And then remember, what's her name? Martinez, whatever her name is. What is her name? Yuri Martinez. You know, that should be a hate crime. They were caught on mic trying to destabilize Black communities. They were caught on mic doing that. So, and then again, for those of you guys that don't know, if you're not in California, it has been proven that the cartels think about how casual she was in recruiting and asking the Mexican gang members to get involved. It has been proven that a lot of money laundering is going on in these Hispanic businesses. And that's how they're money laundering, and that's how they're also funding campaigns, because these people come out of nowhere.
Yep. Sunshine says most of these people, how you doing, by the way, says most of these people are not FBA, death in office. We have voted immigrants in. That's why it's so important that we know these people's background. Yeah, a lot of the people, especially in Congressional Black Caucus, are not considered what y'all say FBA, Black Americans or anything like that. They may be first generation, but you know, their mom and dad or, you know, come from somewhere else like that. But absolutely. All right, who else came on here? Did I see Queen Adaya? How you doing? Long time no see. Says they have a great disdain for melanated people. We have to keep telling them no. Cynthia Haynes, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Dearness, what's going on with you? Says money is the god to some, especially the Black politicians. Yeah, but they get in on our votes and then they turn around and help everybody else and then come knock on our door when it's time to get back in office. And foolishly, we vote them in office, right? And that's, you know, it has to stop. Jacoby, how you doing? Says, good afternoon. I'll wait for the day when the Congressional Black Caucus get their pockets run. Absolutely. Avenge them ancestors. How you doing? And yes, indeed, FBA Judah, what's going on? I will thank you so much. I love and appreciate you for that. Who else is on here? Trying to get everybody's comment at least once. Alicia, you says there were no Black representatives when my taxes quadrupled from 3,000 to 12,000, forcing most of my neighbors to move. Okay. Maya sisters, how you doing? It says, question, how many Latinos does Trump need to deport for a white majority? What, aren't white people the majority now in America?
Yeah, the white people are the majority right now, but they say he needs to deport minimum 42 million Hispanic people to get a white majority, you know, in regard to race. 42 million have to leave. Now, remember, in 4 years, 22 million was just letting the floodgates were open. So he needs to get rid of 42 to get the majority. And you guys, and I want you guys to say that, I want you guys to remember this. And I say this on my podcast all the time, if you guys haven't checked it out. The immigrants that are coming in that are here now, they are not a threat to us. They can't vote, even though some of them are going to try to vote and all this other stuff. That's not really what's important. What is the threat is the fact that these immigrants are going to affect our grandchildren, okay? The grandchildren are going to have no voice. Not only are Black people being gentrified physically out of our neighborhoods, we're being gentrified politically to where we have no voice. If we don't take a stand now, our grandchildren, you talk about 25 years from now, it's going to be too late. We have to make a stand now. To fight all this other stuff. When these immigrants come in here, that's not the threat. The threat is they're making babies while they're here. That's the threat. And those babies are going to be in direct competition with our children and our grandchildren.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of these so-called Black leaders, they're okay with Black Americans being obsolete. They're okay with that. You know, they're getting their piece of the pie, their pockets greased. So they're okay with that. And they've been getting away with it because largely we've been asleep. We've been asleep thinking, oh, I got to keep Maxine Waters in office for, you know, 19,000 years and James Clyburn in office for even longer than that. And we watched them, you know, every 2 years, right? Because that's when they get elected, every 2 years. We have to watch them. So, oh yeah, even Maxine Waters at one point in time was like, oh yeah, I'm going to Washington and I'm going to get reparations. She said that earlier on. And then she might have said it a time or two after that. Then she said, I ain't even got to keep telling them that because they just going to vote me in. Next time when I get in there, I'm going to give them a cute little sound bite. I'm reclaiming my time. And then that'll sustain them for 2 more years. They'll run around saying, oh, Auntie Maxine with a handful of keys. She don't play that. She reclaiming her time. And then the next 2 years after that, she's going to be the chairwoman of the finance committee. And oh, she going to be holding Trump accountable. She going to go get Trump. Y'all remember that? When she was going to be holding Trump accountable. Crickets, right? And so some of that is on us. At some point in time, we got to stop saying, well, just because they're Black, we need to vote them in office. They could look Black, they could talk Black, but do they walk Black? That has to be the question that has to be answered with a yes. If it's not answered with a yes, then they get a no. So yeah.
Do you guys realize, and you brought up a good point, Dimitri, do you guys realize that white people have done more for black people than black people have done for themselves? How can I say that? Civil rights legislation, LBJ, right? Done more, you need a white man to make it work. It's their system. Their system. Now we have all this leverage in the 60s, and what did they do? What did that generation, and we're not indicting the generation, we get it. Hey, I got my Cadillac, I got my hose, I got, whatever I need. And the revolution stopped. That was the biggest mistake that the baby boomers did. They got comfortable. They gave them jobs, got them government jobs and all this other stuff, and they were living the life. And I fell into that as well. Dimitri fell into, we all have fallen into that because we get into the life situation and we think, oh, they're going to look out for me. They're going to look out for me. Do you guys want to know the real reason why I got involved in politics and things that actually happened for me? The biggest FBI bribe in FBI history of a public official happened in my city. That is how I got involved. I couldn't believe it because I was like everybody else. Oh, they got it. I ain't worried about that. Oh, the school board, I'm not worried about that. And speaking of the school board, if you don't have a dual immersion program in your school system, you need to get your ass down there to the school board and get a dual immersion program, because with all these Hispanics running around, your kids need to know Spanish in their toolbox so they can get hired for a job later on.
Absolutely. Agent Black, you made it. I'm so happy that you made it. Brother Damon, you made it too. Glad to see you here. Tamika, how you doing? Says this generation of FBA is ready. We understand white people more than any other group because we are mixed. We hate to say it. We know them inside and out, unfortunately. And fortunately, we are them. Well, yeah, if you're FBA, Black American, ADOS, whatever, yeah, more than likely you got some massive blood running through your veins. Okay, I would just say that's probably true, unless your ancestors were lucky enough not to have him creeping up in the slave shack with his. Sherry, how you doing? Says, have you seen what's going on in Mexico City? Yes, I have. I'm going to cover that story next week. Mexico City, they are telling the Americans to speak English and get out of their country. They feel like Americans are trying to take over just like them. Yes, and that's a good thing. I'm glad to see those Mexicans in Mexico City saying, get y'all out of here, okay? Because their argument is, all right, for one, we can't be over where y'all are, and y'all moving over here. Not only are you moving over here, you're gentrifying. The property is values are going up. Everything, the cost of living is going up in Mexico of all places, because them folks are moving over there. And of course, when they move anywhere, oh, it's too loud, it's too this, it's too that, it's too this. So they're actively rioting and like running them out of there. They're like, they busting up the joint. They're like, nah, y'all gotta go. Now I was wondering when that was going to happen, and we're seeing it happen. And to me, fair is fair. If we can't be over there where y'all are, then why y'all coming over here? But see, the other thing too is this. Now, everybody else is understanding the argument that we as Black Americans had and have when they gentrify our neighborhoods. It's the same thing. Property value goes up. Everything changes. I always say when you see a white woman walking a poodle and a Starbucks erected, it's a wrap for the Black neighborhood, right? So I'm glad that them folks are getting a taste of their own medicine, and they're learning that everybody is tired of y'all stuff. So yeah, I've been paying attention to that.
Wait a minute. Where were you guys at when I was in the Dominican Republic and I was being deported? I'm a good guy. I was paying money. I was contributing to the thing, but they said I had to leave the country. Man, you guys, I swear. And in all seriousness, though, how many of you guys are aware that over 1 million Americans live just across the border in Tijuana? True story. A lot of people don't know that. If you're not from California, you don't know that. And they come over, they work, and they live in these beautiful compounds on the other side down in Mexico.
Yeah, and they driving them out of there, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Go back to where you belong, right? Europe. D-Mac says, I used to believe that we could give money to a politician to make change for Black people. The Diddy case proves me wrong. They want us a permanent underclass. Absolutely. because they don't want to have to pay us reparations or even do right by us, but it's not up to them. You cannot out legislate the will of God. You can do any and everything you want to do, but you got to pay the debt that is due. And that is the original sin of slavery. They got to pay that, whether they like it or not. So it's not if, it's when. Who else came on here? Roz, how you doing? Hope you are well. Ms. Shantae says, I was wondering how the Hispanics get approved for so many businesses. It makes sense now. Absolutely, right? They give them businesses, business loans and things, long as they put their business in Black neighborhoods and not in white ones for sure, then yeah, go ahead, you know. Who else came on here? I see Lance, I saw you says that the governor of Maryland, Westmore, is Jamaican and Cuban. He just vetoed reparation bill and is now running for president. Well, I don't know if he's running for president yet, but that is the speculation. It's kind of early too. Trump has only been in office 6 months. So it's kind of early, but yeah, he did veto it, but he gave like $400 million to all these programs and initiatives that we ain't asked for, right? We want to check, but we got our eyes on him as well. Gearhead, you say the illegals got to go. Doesn't matter what color their skin is. Emmy says, but white folks split their votes. Yeah, they do, right? But I think mostly they vote for their own interest, whoever is talking and walking like them, right? Us, you know how we vote, right? 92% of Black women voters voted for Kamala, you know, and the Democrats, they get into upwards of the 90s in votes from Black people. So, yeah.
Wait, and if we're talking about white folks, with all the stuff that's going on here in Los Angeles and across the nation, where are the white people? You guys notice that? They keep us fighting, and you're fighting with the Hispanics and the Mexicans while we don't understand or know what is going on with power. Isn't it funny how everything jumped up when the big, beautiful bill was being debated and passed and they were putting their ins and outs in there? But we were so distracted worrying about the Mexicans doing this and that, you know, we are so busy focused on the nonsense that we're not focused on the power.
Absolutely. And Cynthia, thank you so much for the donation. Love it. Appreciate you. Says, hey, Queen and King and FBA fam, I'm on my way to Washington, D.C. to meet with an ambassador. Keep me in your prayers. We will. And let us know how that goes. Absolutely. Angie, how you doing?
Is it the ambassador of the Dominican Republic? Because if you could put a good word in for me, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, tell him he said tricking ain't easy. Angie, how you doing? Let's see. Benito, you says, Demetra and Donovan, it's too late. You already lost. Move on. Time to learn Spanish. See? Yanni, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Brother Reddy says, a Wig Senior went to D.C. and got reparations for herself. You ain't lying, Auntie Maxine. She probably got a wig closet with all of the money she got.
Yes, Maxine, when she came into Congress, she was one of the poorest Congress members in 1993. She is estimated to be worth $30+ million and doesn't even live. She has property in South Central, but she lives in Pacific Palisades.
Right. Shirley says, I'm still waiting for them to be treated the way they treated us during the 60s. I'm looking for the water hoses, dogs, horses, fire bombs that they use to attack our people, FBAs, ADOS, Freedmen. I know that's not going to happen. They just hate us. Now, of course, it's been said that if we got out there, then, of course, they would bring those things out. Because when Black Americans are out there protesting, oh, yes, you can believe all that stuff show up, right? Marjorie says there are citizens who have struggled to become United States citizens, did everything right, and understood the need for being a U.S. citizen. To have illegals come here and overtake communities is crazy. Right. And nobody's saying that people can't immigrate here. People immigrate here all the time. It's just how you go about doing it, right? You come over here and you ain't supposed to be over here, and then you demand stuff and people give you stuff, especially while overlooking Black Americans who have been asking for reparations forever. It is crazy, you know? And
real quick, and do you guys realize I have a friend, I talked about this on my podcast. I had a friend that just got laid off out of LA, 17 years, LA thing, super Democrat, liberal. And he's like, oh man, they laid me off. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got a house note. I got this, I got that, right? And I told him, I said, do you realize the reason you got laid off is because of the money that went to the illegal migrants to support them? He supported his own demise. Think about that, you guys. All these cities that with the budget got busted. Why did the budget get busted? Because they supported migrants, and thus as American citizens, programs that are for us and for our children got cut as well because we're supporting people that shouldn't even be here. Make it make sense.
Yep. Ursula, thank you so much for that. Love and appreciate you. Ms. Shante says, maybe we need a bill where speaking Spanish isn't required for a job unless it's specifically a translator role. Well, Trump, this term made English the official language of the United States. There wasn't one before officially, although, most people speak English here. He was like, yeah, the official language is now English. So, right. Yeah.
And if you come here the right way, one of the tenements of your citizenship is you must learn English. There's a whole bunch of videos where Barack Obama was breaking it down of how you get here. You will pay a fine. You will learn English. That is one of the tenements to becoming a citizen in this country.
We love you too, Black America. You stay safe out there. Damien says, Miss K, you were featured on Red Supreme YouTube channel. And who is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I actually saw you on that as well. So again, it's just a reactionary channel, kind of. It's a good channel. But the point is, where's my cut of your appearance? You guys, again, I own all rights to Demetra K. I don't care what anybody tells you. I discovered her. I found her. I put her on the platform. Everything she knows, I had to teach her.
Y'all do know that, Donovan, what is the initial of your middle name? Just give us the initial.
I don't have a middle name.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's not P?
Well, that's my former name, yeah.
For Pinocchio? Kev J, how you doing? Says Johnson didn't do us any favors. Integration was the worst thing that happened to us besides slavery. Johnson knew he had us fooled. Johnson. Who's Johnson?
LBJ.
Oh, I'm tripping. I was okay. I was thinking about Pinocchio.
You guys see that I have to sit next to her so she can get
the rabbit is getting old, baby. The rabbit is getting old. Okay. Brother Reggie says, yeah, they ain't playing down there. And D-Mac says 50 years cycle. So you're talking about how often they run. Marlon, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. He says FBA. Shanette, you say, when's ICE going to come to Boston, Massachusetts and go to American Food Basket? There's only a handful of people that can speak English. Oh, Lord. Benito, he says, but Mexicans never stole over half of America's territories. The American immigrants in Mexico have no say in the matter. And the say in the matter of what's going on over there in Mexico, well, I see differently. Okay, I see that they are turning up, and I'm glad that they're doing that. I don't think you should allow people to just come in your country and do whatever they want, making life harder for you. So I'm with them over there in Mexico City. I ride out. I'm with them.
As a matter of fact, I saw a video where even like the restaurant menus are now in English and stuff, and they're upset about that. It's like, hey, if you're going to come over here, you need to learn Espanol. It's just as simple as that. To me, that makes sense. When I go to the DR, of course they could speak English. Most countries could speak English plus their native language. We're one of the only countries that are just one language. But I try to learn and respect their country, and I try. What's the word? Assimilate. I try to assimilate into their country.
Yeah, you don't go nowhere and say, "Nah, I'm here. Y'all need to do everything the way I want you to." It's like you about to get deported or in jail. Jennifer says, American, I think America is a European country since when? It's stolen. It was colonized into that, but it wasn't that before they got over here. How's American? Did you hear what you said? America is a European country. So either it's American or it's European. And if it's a European country, did they originate in America? Or did they originate in Europe? I'm just asking some obvious questions here. Okay, just asking. And I'll maybe see your response when I get to the bottom. Donovan to get kicked out of the DR. He'll be back shortly. Veronica, how you doing? Says years ago I couldn't catch them folks in our neighborhood. Now it's gentrified. A lot of them live there now. Yeah, and then it was too loud here. Oh, the barbecue smoke. Oh, this and all that. It's like, boy, I'm telling you, I saw a video once. My daughter actually showed it to me. and it was of a brother. I don't know where. I think there's somewhere in New York, somewhere. And every night he got on his balcony and went pew, 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 pew. He let some off in the air every night. He said, this keeps the gentrification down. He said, I got to make the neighborhood as undesirable as possible.
Yeah, have you guys seen those Mexican videos where they get deported and they come back a week later? The guy was like, I'm on vacation. Yeah, I'll be back in a week. That's how I am with the DR. You got me out of there right now, but I'll be back in a week.
Yeah, I've actually seen those videos of them getting deported, and they like, why they tripping? Just come back.
Right.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing? He says, where are we supposed to live? Where are we supposed to work? Well, here, right? This is where we're supposed to work. We're Americans, right? Michael Pan, how you doing? Says two seaside natives, Monterey, California, County, California, have launched a website. They hope to make a hub for reparations. Well, I hope they do too. Let's see. And Jennifer says Africa will never pay reparations for selling their tribes around the globe. Well, I guess that's a good argument, but that doesn't absolve America of having to pay their share for what they did to our ancestors on those plantations and after those plantations. And even right now, if you want to be honest, how does that absolve America for what they did? So somebody give you something and you do it the way the Americans did, the masters did the slaves. Is that right? Because that's kind of what I hear you saying. Like, well, they gave, like if I give you my puppy, I don't mean not to liken us to dogs, don't get me wrong, but if I give you a puppy, I don't mean for you to go abuse it and do the most heinous things to it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just trying to help you understand. 83, how you doing? So,
yeah, there's an old saying. There's one thing that what these illegal immigrants don't understand. You have to be a citizen of a country to enjoy civil rights of that country. Everybody is confusing human rights, which is unalienable, with civil rights. I do not have civil rights in Britain. I don't have civil rights in Australia. I have human rights. I don't have civil rights.
Yeah, and that's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. How could you? How is it that they're all of a sudden wanting to give you civil rights and you don't have human rights? They don't even think of you as a human. So what difference does it make for civil rights? And he also said civil rights, you know, I guess call for the equality, right, of Black Americans. And he was like, why would the slave master, even though, you know, he wasn't technically that in the 60s, but why would the slave master give the slave equality? Because if he did that, there would destroy that slave, master-slave relationship, right? So who's going to be the master? He's surely not going to be a slave, and he ain't going to make you a master. So why would he give you equality? But he was basically beckoning upon us to think like they telling y'all anything, and y'all just going along with the okie doke, right? So yeah. Brandon, he says if she became president, she'd be in Kamala. I think he says United States would be 10 times worse than what it is. You ain't lying.
Yes, and remember, Kamala was the border czar under Biden. Hey, Demetra, you haven't been to the border.
Well, I haven't been to everywhere else either. That's what she said to, I think it was Lester Holt when he asked her, hey, you ain't been to the border. Well, I think she said, I haven't been to Europe either. Man, you's a sassy heifer, ain't you? R. Ward, how you doing? It says, are you awake now? FBA, vote those old politicians out of office. Yep. Black America, I'll bite. He says, they don't gentrify our neighborhoods. We Black people sell them. Our neighborhoods, we sell the grandparents' houses, family house. We do that as Black people. Yeah, we do some of that. Yes, we do. We do. Okay. But that's not all the case. You know what I mean? It's not always the case. It's some of the case. But yeah, I'll concede that. You got one. You're right. Sunshine, thank you so much for that. Love it. Appreciate you. Spider-Man, how you doing? Says FBAs are in trouble in Los Angeles. 50% of the homeless are Black. The politicians are considering giving the illegals free rental assistance. In fact, the most homeless population in America is Black.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And the number for those people in Los Angeles, it's not 50%. It's 70%.
Yeah, Michael, yes, we have been paying attention, but Wes Moore don't think we're paying attention, but oh yeah, we paying attention. Mr. South Carolina, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Daryl, what's going on with you? So the Mexican protesters should get help from the Aryan Brotherhood. They are clicked in with them. Well, they think they was clicked in with them, but they can see clearly they're not, right? Nothing wakes you up like the truth.
Only in prison do they ally themselves with the Aryan nation.
Right. And Miss Sweet, she says, question, was Desert Storm the most recent war?
No, Desert Storm was back in 1990, 91. So that wasn't the most recent, but it's a continuation. The wars that we've had is a continuation of that we didn't complete the job. You know, it's a continuation.
And Brother Damon says Afghanistan was, okay. B man, how you doing? Says they created laws to our detriment based on race, but when it's time for those wrongs to be rectified, it's against the law to base it on race. There you go. It's that circular reasoning, right? Let's see. And Queen Adia says, yes, it did. They were robbing Peter to pay Paul. Jennifer says, pray Africa will be responsible. Sunshine says, I had trouble sending money. That's on me. I'm not good on sending money. I'll be sending more. Okay. Hello, love. He says, no more Esteban, the Moore, and Pedro, and Vincent Guerreros. D. Ernest, she says, both parties are two wings of the same bird. Ice Cube tried to show Black people that which party is willing to give us what to our benefit deserves the Black vote. Black people owe the Democrats nothing. And yeah, what did Black people do to Ice Cube? You know what I mean?
Especially Black women. Especially Black women.
I mean, it was Black men too. You know, Roland Martins, all of them, bro. Roland Martin, ambushed him. You know, Brian. Who did he bring on? Somebody from Black Lives Matter. Ice Cube was really just trying to talk about the contract of Black America, and he had all these people Black ambushing him, having in these debates that he didn't ask for and stuff. He like, wait a minute now, I'm just coming to tell y'all my proposal, but you suckers are mad because the only administration that invited me to talk to him was the Trump administration. He put it forward to the Biden administration, and nothing, right? They said, when we get in office, well, we'll talk to you, but they never did. And Black people tried to drag Ice Cube from one place to the other to where he was like, I'm good. Ice Cube was worth over $140 million, probably more than that at this point. Lives in a gated community. He ain't got to deal with none of this. And he took the time to use his platform to ask for something for Black people, Black Americans, let's be specific. And he tapped into that of Dr. Claude Anderson and a whole message to the Black man in America, all of those things, right? All of these blueprints to put together the contract of Black America for Black people, and Black people got upset because he had a conversation. What's wrong with us?
And again, you know, Vivica Fox, who's on her little thing. Well, what's in it for Black women? Ice Cube said, well, you're Black, right?
And then he implemented something specifically for Black women. He appeased them, right? And that was no good. They still were upset about it. So yeah. Sammy says all of that in California was done for nothing. No one should be surprised with Isaac. He reads the scripts and does what he's told. And like he literally reads the scripts, because I was looking at something else he was talking about, some gibberish, and he was literally speaking out against the one big beautiful bill, and he was reading. It's like, dude, come on, you know. Cynthia says the immigrants got all the resources that were meant for American families. Yes, indeed. Michael, thank you so much for that. Love and appreciate you. Says cash payment reparations equals appreciation. Come on now, I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt if you don't. Buckhorse says LA. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I'm so behind. So I have to look at Red Drop. I've never heard of Red Drop. George, how you doing? Says, how do you recognize an American citizen? We actually speak English language all the time. Okay. Leisha, you said there are people living in Miami who can't speak a lick of English. That is very true. I actually did a story on that on the African Diaspora News Channel if y'all want to go check that out today. Who else?
My neighbors don't speak English. All of my cul-de-sac, not one of them speaks English. The kids speak English because they go to the schools, but the parents, I have to get my Google Translator.
Yeah, especially in that area. El Buddha, you says the Haitians lied about fighting ICE in Brooklyn. They showed Labor Day videos. well, YPD. Yeah, I heard a lot about it, but I also saw people saying, oh, well, a lot of those videos got taken down of them actually fighting with ICE, because the word on the street was the Haitian community in New York was fighting with ICE, right? And they ran ICE out of there. They were, ran them out of there. But then I saw a lot of people saying, well, they scrubbed those videos from the internet, but it happened, though. It did. Take my word for it, it happened. But I see a lot of y'all who live in New York is like, when?
Yeah, and then again, here's a black-skinned diaspora member, and what do? When they come to America under a protective status? They form Little Haiti. They form their own. They don't want to assimilate. They come here and they form their own communities. Little Haiti is in New York City.
Yep. Yes, and please, y'all follow Brother Reggie. He has an awesome channel talking about life in Japan. It is amazing. I'm telling you, Donovan and I and my daughter went to Japan like 2 years ago, almost at this point. It was an awesome, amazing time. And I love Brother Reggie's channel because he's showing us things that we have no idea about, right? So yeah, please follow Brother Reggie's awesome content.
Yeah, because if you follow Demetra and her daughter on Japan, all you're going to see is 7-Elevens. the adventures in 7-Eleven.
That's right. The 7-Elevens are the bomb, okay? Renaissance Woman, how you doing? Says, I agree. I'm from Clarksdale, Mississippi, and we had a thriving Black area that fell when segregation ended. Now whites have changed history and hijacked the blues. Hey, Claire64, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yanni says, ICE touchdown here in Louisiana. Uh-oh. Yeah, I mean, Trump and Tom Homan said that they was going to do it, right? Sunlight says, Obama never made any legislation that, and your comment cut off. I hope to catch up with it. Brother Raven, how you doing? It says California, for just an equitable California is the Black grassroots who beat the door down for 7 years and getting ready for Black Reparations 2.0 fight. These are warriors for Black reparations. To stay updated, here is the link. So you have to go on to Facebook where I'm streaming to see that link. But thank you for that. Let's see. And Cynthia says the New York governor who is funding $50 million to protect criminal illegal immigrants from prison, but nothing for FBA's incarcerated citizens now make sense. Yeah, they need to go too.
Yeah, I want to go back to that Haiti thing real quick. I don't know if it happened or not, but I'm least likely to believe that because it doesn't make sense to me. Haitians are fighting to stay here, and they're willing to pick up bottles and fight, right? Mexicans, they're willing to wave their flags and burn and destroy and destruct. Where is the energy for that in their home country? Where is the energy for that? I find that hard to believe that they really were out there fighting ICE when they don't even fight in their own damn country. I find that hard to believe.
Right. But, the videos got scrubbed from the internet, so we'll never know. Hey, Easy, long time no see. I missed you dearly, and I love and appreciate you. Hope everything has been good for you. He says, Mexico been invading now. You know how U.S. Americans feel. There you go. And like I said, I'm down with the Mexicans over there running them out of there. They should be run out of there. Like, you don't get to come over here and tear our stuff up. You know what I mean? Go back where you're from, Europe, and gentrify, re-gentrify. Go back home. I don't know, Europe. Quicks and Sunlight, you said so. Obama, when he was in office, he didn't make English the official language. He did not. If it was up to him, he probably would have made it Spanish. Quicks. He says, my cousin is a guard, in one of those prisons. He says they come back all the time after deportations. Okay. Mike says, who made the comment about Boston and America food basket left out Popeyes? Oh, they up in Popeyes too? Lady Shikari, how you doing? Says, I'm so tired of Black Democrats trying to kidnap our causes, to further illegals. Yeah, because we've been just kind of asleep at the wheel. We're waking up now. Gloria says, I've been wondering about white also. Michelle says, when I lived in Korea, I had to learn some Korean in order to get around and shop. Likewise, when they come to America, they should have to speak English. Is that what you're trying to say? He says, Melania can't speak a lick of English. You crazy. Be best. Jet, how you doing? Says, I've been telling my ex-liberal friends for years that this was going to happen. They all stopped talking to me and called me a racist white supremacist. Well, they were never your friend. Kiki, How you doing? Says some folks are born with no inner voice for a reason. And what is that reason? And I'm just trying to get to everybody. Have not seen American Scorser. I hope I said that right. How you doing? Says they understand, go to their country. And Maya's sister says one important function of the big beautiful bill, Trump defunded many Democrat programs and services helping Hispanic states required to approve budget for services or Latinos don't get assistance. Yeah, I'm still trying to learn what I can about the bill, but there's a couple of things in there that I like. All the other stuff kind of just remains to be seen.
You know, but what's crazy is this. You know, when I see Black people get involved, which they should not get involved. How many of you guys have seen the meme I put up about which way is up, Pops? He said, that ain't none of your concern. That's between the Mexicans and the white folks. You guys saw the movie Which Way Is Up?
Yeah.
Man, 50 years ago, Richard Pryor in that movie said that. But it's crazy how we get involved and do this for these people. Do you guys realize it was Asians that dismantled affirmative action in college admissions? These people come here and they dismantle things that was predominantly put up for us. And yet we're over here fighting for them when we're actually fighting against what is best for us. It's circular. It's crazy. But never forget that. These people come in here and they dismantle things that are supposed to benefit us.
Yep. And we've been voting for it. You know, hopefully we're really starting to wake up and we don't do that anymore. Joseph, how you doing? Say unbelievable. Jennifer, you say Blacks are the most privileged Blacks in the globe. You just on here talking, huh?
I would agree with that in the fact that we are privileged in the fact that we are the only diaspora that fights white supremacy every day. We fight it every day.
Well, we need to do a better job at winning, okay? And I think we're going to do that now. M, how you doing? Says we need term limits on all political offices. Time for change. They want to benefit the people and not the politicians. Yep, and it's wrong. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be that way, but we're all starting to wake up. Sister Shirley says Democrats believe we should give free rent for illegal immigrants, and they've been doing that, right? Facts, not feelings. How you doing? Hope you're doing well this fine Sunday afternoon. Michael says, Dimitri and Donovan, I'm curious about California's existing laws regarding discrimination. What are the chances for anti-Black hate crime bill to be codified into law at the state level? Never. They'll never do it. I mean, they might feel forced or compelled to one day, but they're never going to do it. They're never, ever meant to protect Blacks. Even in California, that's just liberal state. It's blue, you know, through and through. They still have a prison population that is comprised of mostly Blacks, even though disproportionately is about 6%, less than that of Black people in California. So they're never going to give us anything specific. Never, never, ever.
Wait, but the Democratic Party is for Black people. It's the party of Black people, but yet we can't get reparations in California? We can't get, I can understand not getting reparations in Texas, but in a super majority state of California, a Democratic governor, a Democratic assembly, and we can't get reparations? Make it make sense.
Yeah, if it ain't gonna happen in California, I mean, I'm not saying it ain't gonna happen, but that right there was the litmus test for it. Would they do it, right? And they didn't. And at the end of the day, the California Legislative Black Caucus was blocking for Massa. Big Daddy Gavin Newsom. That's who they were blocking for. Don't worry, Massa. Hold on. Because he needs to come on out and have a conversation with y'all. Hold on. They was like, don't worry, Massa. We got it now. We'll make sure you don't never have to vote or veto. We're gonna make sure you're just as lily white and you don't have no stains or blemishes on you. We got it, Massa. Don't you worry. And that's what they did. Facts Not Feelings says, in all fairness, Roland Martin is not a Black man in the truest sense of the word. Don't let him hear you say that. He might cuss you out on Twitter. Lawrence, how you doing? Says we are our own worst enemies. We can be, and that's a conversation that we need to have, and we often have it here, right? We never want to absolve ourselves or anything that we do to harm ourselves, right? Troy, how you doing? Says Donald Trump says no to reparations. He says that now, but it's not really up to him. It's up to God. The debt will be paid, and you know, as Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, watch the weather. As the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has also rung the alarm. Watch the weather. And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's it. Nothing more. Hello Love says, if you're not white, you are degrading the race and therefore not Mexican. Okay.
Improve the race. Improve the race. Hey girl, improve the race. All Latins say that. They all say that.
AGH, how you doing? Says, and they sound stupid. This is the Move to Africa channel. The Move to Africa channel. Oh, okay. You're saying Africa Diaspora News Channel pushes Africa more than anybody. I see. That's what happens when you watch like one or two videos. That's kind of what happens, and you just draw a narrative off of, that's like, now we've all been guilty of this. So I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just saying you, but I'm speaking from experience. You had a book report due, right? And you might have had 2 weeks or so to read the book and do the book report. But no, you didn't do it. And this is before you could get like Chat GPT to summarize the book for you. You might have been able to get Cliff Notes, but your mama wasn't giving you no money to buy no Cliff Notes. So you skimmed through some of the book and you says, okay, I'm going to write a book report. And then your teacher said, what book did you read? Oh, I read the book. Well, tell me a little bit more. Because in your book report, he says, and the book was very, 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 very good. I like reading that book. I learned a lot. But you never told anybody what the book was about. So that's kind of what you're doing right now. You just skimmed through it and made a narrative. And if I was your teacher, I'd give you a fat F, one-legged A, and wouldn't bat an eye. It'd be in that red marker that your teacher would give you, this and circle it a whole bunch of times with an F around it. Arneba, he says, those Haitians showed us what we should do when we see the police abusing one of us. Did they? Because I haven't seen the videos yet. I'm not saying they're not out there. They've just been scrubbed from the internet, apparently. Dirty Laundering.
Well, I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to disagree with that wholeheartedly. How can somebody show us something that already happened? We showed them. If it wasn't for Black FBAs in the United States, a lot of these countries would not be free from the colonialists. Simple as that. We were the first to do it, and we're still doing it every day.
Well, you said the first to do what?
To like fight white supremacy and fight back. We were the first to do that.
Well, that actually goes to the Haitians because they actually fought and won. Yes.
But like standing up in the modern age, nobody else is doing that.
Timothy, thank you so much. Love and appreciate you. Said just got here. Hello to y'all. God, a good and blessed. Got you. Thank you. So, salty balls. I said that in my mind real fast, and I ain't gonna repeat it again, okay? But thank you so much. Thank you so much for that donation. Love and appreciate you for that very interesting name. I would say that much. Dirty Laundry Media says they lied about Haiti. Okay. And Tracy says, I saw a Haitian female on TikTok say they real Haitian fighters are still in Haiti. Well, I'm rocking and rolling with them. I hope that they are successful. And, they have some argument in regards to the United States and what they did to help destabilize Haiti, because they did. So I can understand them coming over here. America needs to make it right with Haiti. Period. Right? Sonny Robinson, thank you so much for that. You say the Democrats is doing acts of treason against us FBAs and our American government, handing our country over to foreign illegals. And they're still doing that. Just have to really think about what you say. Yes, they are still doing that. Absolutely.
Yes. If you guys ever in front of a Haitian, just mention Bill or Hillary Clinton and watch what happens to you.
Right. King Noble, how you doing? It says, I remember when Cube went on Cocktails with Queens. He says, and how though all those foolish women giving him a hard time, all of them old but wants to be young, especially Vivica Fox. Yeah, they were just acting like straight up donkeys. And as Salty Balls, that's his name. Thank you so much. I love and appreciate you for that. Says you should see the flags in LA now. They're trying to dial it back and add a blend of American flags with Mexican flags here in Los Angeles. Now, when I was there in California, and I put a video footage on my channel, I saw a lot of that. They were sewing them together. So I did personally see that with my own eyes. No reparation, no vote. What's going on with you? Who else came on here? Because I see that I'm terribly behind. Y'all must forgive me for that. Raven says, I hope Trump go extra hard on deporting illegal Mexicans because Kamala gearing up for a possible California governor run. And she definitely would let the Cali border go buck wild if she won. Yeah, but there's still only so much that she could do, right? Federal government could hold money, which Trump said that they were going to do. But I do agree with you that she would definitely try because that's what she was trying to do.
Guys, okay, look, let's be real. You know, again, she was vice president because Joe Biden picked her, right? She was politically dead in 2019. She was one of the first to drop out before Iowa because she couldn't even garner her home state. Also remember, Kamala never faced a primary. Never. If she runs for governor, she will be so embarrassed, she won't even make it out of that primary.
It remains to be seen. I mean, y'all, when I say y'all, I mean us. We voted in the governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anything is possible, right?
Yeah, but he had some good movies.
Yeah, he did. He did. I'll be back. And he wasn't. He was not up for re-election. Easy says affirmative action was mythology and still is, right? They had us thinking, oh, it's for you blacks. And it wasn't. Let's see here. Who else came on here? Sister Love, how you doing? It says, I have a video that I would like to share. Okay. And where would you like to share it if you don't mind me asking? And welcome. Ron says Californians live in the United States of Latin America. You ain't lying. I mean, I'm California born and raised, right? I don't live out there now, but I go out there a couple times a year, and every time I go, it's just unrecognizable. I kid you not. Hardly see any black people. I even hardly see any white people. Now they have their own little enclaves like Orange County and things like that, but I rarely even see. I see a lot of Asians and Hispanics. But black people is like, oh my God, there's somebody black, right? And like I said, white people here and there, but yeah, it's mostly Hispanics.
And I want you guys to know, and I'm saying this publicly, we've taken Demetra's California card, we've taken all of that, and yet she still sneaks back into the damn state. And will.
Clary says, I'm in California and I'm FBA. We here. Yeah. Black people in California, but you know, it's not as much, right? Sister Lovey says, I got the police calling on me today by a Haitian immigrant who called me an immigrant when I wasn't even talking to her. This European charge at me. Family, the hate is real. Well, yeah, Trump said that he was getting 500,000 of them out of here. And like Donovan said, they come over here and they got their own little thing. They delineate and then they hate on Black Americans. And then when the time comes for Tom Homan and them to be getting on out there to deport people, then it's like, well, you're mad at us. It's like, well, you mad at us? Why? You've come over here and made it plain that you're not like us. You guys have no culture and all this other stuff. But then when you hear them horses ride, then it's like, hey, Black Americans. It's like, we hiding from the horses too ourselves, and we ain't got the kind of time to invest with everybody else, Kojo, how you doing? He says, Ebonics is my first language, yours and mine both, okay? Easy says, D, you should name it Mad Max, okay? 48 TCL says they got to. Then what would be the reason for the seasoning change? And I know I'm so behind, so y'all got to forgive me. Real to real, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Facts I Feeling says Black people collectively are idol worshiping the Democrat Party. That is why we as a whole are behind every group, and the Democrats help to get ahead, and we're okay with it, and we help them do it, right? Narmer X, how you doing? Says, remember, pay has two definitions. I will concede that. Sonny Robinson, how you doing? Says, can super chats get read? I think so.
Yeah, no, he was saying that because you're so far behind that when he put his super chat in. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm behind. Y'all must forgive me. You guys are going in. Christopher, how you doing? Says people that look like us clearly work for them folks. You sold me on reparations. I have always been against it, but your comment cut off, so maybe I can get to the rest of it.
Yes, hey, and you guys do us a favor, hit that like button. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a thing. Hit the like button so the algorithm can keep on going.
Yeah, Miss Sweets, that big old giant red marker on your paper. F. Yeah, Brother Reggie, the Cliff Notes. You know, I remember them Cliff Notes. Timothy says if blacks left the U.S., other races would destroy it. They might. Let's see, Yusuf, how you doing? I said, salute, warrior sister, and very beautiful lady to meet you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. Charlene, how you doing? Says, whomever stated Roland Martin isn't a black man is so right, because that's a big biter. What? A big bitter black woman. Y'all ain't right. I didn't say that, but somebody else did. Y'all better leave Roland alone. He just wants grandma cookies. Eddie, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm trying to get to the bottom of y'all. Y'all must forgive me. Sanchez, how you doing? Says that Haitian video attacking ICE was not true. Was not true. The real Haitian fighters are still in Haiti. They didn't flee. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. They said that they were out there rock'em sock'em with ICE. Thank you, Sister Love. I appreciate that. They said they were, but the videos got scrubbed from the internet. Khalil, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. Dave Young, what's going on with you? Says praises to FBA ancestors. Yes, indeed. Buku, what's going on? It says Bill Clinton wasn't ish when he was governor of Arkansas and when he was the president of the United States either. See, cool.
Well, he was something because he helped bring in a lot of drugs into Little Rock Airport, and that little airport off of Little Rock. So he was a big supporter of that.
Yeah, Monica Lewinsky thought he was something. Jerron, how you doing? Said that's a far stretch to be comparing deportation to slavery. Well, he did. I put the video up. It wasn't my words. It was his. D-Mac, he says spiritual healing and beliefs are very necessary during these trying times. We need clairvoyancy. I agree with you on that one. I agree. And you know what's crazy? I think that I'm clairvoyant. I've been told that I am. It's the weirdest thing ever, you know. One day I'll tell y'all about it. Raven says, I hope you're right, Donovan, but Callie is right for greens in the bathtub to possibly win. I agree with you. I don't think that Kamala I don't think she would lose. If she does, it wouldn't be by much. I think she has a good chance of being governor in California. I really think she does.
Right, but how is she going to do that if the donors are reluctant to donate to her? All that money that they donated in the presidential election and she got blown out. They're saying she's having a problem right now with the donors.
Yes, indeed. Javier says Texas is Hispanic too. Well, I saying that it belongs to Hispanics or it's Hispanic. Oh yeah, Texas is heavily Hispanic. Absolutely. You know,
you got to remember that the western states was Mexico, so of course it's going to be heavily Hispanic. Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, California, Oregon, all of that was purchased. It's not stolen land. Don't let these people who don't know their own history tell you, oh, it's stolen land. Because they got their asses kicked by the United States military so badly, we paid $10 to $15 million for it. Land can't be stolen if it was purchased.
Timothy, thank you so much for that. He says a backbone will stand up to silence Dems in church. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Church and the Democrats, a black church and Democrats are the same people, literally, right? Virginia, how you doing? Says they willingly came here. Bans, you said received. Okay. And Maya, you say, did the Haitians truly win or was it a hollow victory? Remember, Haiti paid an independence debt from 1847 to 1947, totaling billions to France. Haiti was denied investment opportunities. So I would agree with that part, but I'm saying originally they were the first to fight and win their freedom. And, you know, I'm one of those people, I ain't gonna lie to kick it. I'm not on that to where I'm gonna just deny the truth. The truth is they did. They're the first Black people in slavery throughout the world to win their independence. It's just the truth, right? Now, yes, they did have to pay. If it was me, I'd be like, as long as I owe you, you'll never be broke. But yeah, but they did say, get your hands off of me, right? And they won their independence. So I don't think we need, no, let's not rob them of that. Because I don't hate people, Haitians. I don't hate anybody from the continent or anything like that. I don't. I just think that we should spend a little bit more time loving us as Black Americans and doing for us, right? I just want to put that out there. I have no hate for nobody else at all. I really don't. Just bullish. How you doing? Says, what's up, family? Just got in and like has been smacked. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Who else haven't I seen on here? Amber, how you doing? He says, if you earn more than $200,000 per year or are worth millions, it makes sense to applaud this bill. If you're one of the poorest who attend Trump's rally, the middle class like me, it doesn't. Well, it remains to be seen. We haven't seen anything happen yet, as he just signed it on the 4th of July. I know what people are saying. Of course, on both sides of the aisle, they're saying, oh, it's not true what they're saying, and it's not true what they're saying. At the end of the day, we'll find out exactly what's going on, you know. But the other thing, too, as I say about the Democrats, what did you do to stop it? What did you do to stop it when, you know, Kamala was running on all that nonsense she was running on? What did you do to stop it? Trump said he was going to do everything that he's doing. And somehow she thought joy vibes and greens and bathtubs is what she should be running around the country talking about with Megan Thee Stallion twerking her booty.
I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote Donald Trump. I mean, it's just this mass craziness. This man tells you what he's going to do, and he actually is doing it. And people are, you know, that goes to show you how bad our politics is today. Because we hear a politician talk, we don't believe nothing that they're saying. And then when a politician comes in and does exactly what he says, we don't know how to act.
Yeah, I will vote for Donald Trump. That's what the Cubans were singing in Miami, and then the lady who was the lead singer that was on the news, from what I understand, crying because they gaffled her husband up. It's like, this man told you what he was. All right,
and
James
put her husband on the expedited list.
Yeah, that's Jane Spitfire. How you doing? Says, I think he says, I think in 2 years left, the illegal immigrants now in the deportation, they try to give them reparations. What they were damn sure getting it, right? Thank you, Miss Sweets. Said, great show. Rod, how you doing? Says, Roland's people is from the Caribbean, so I heard, but he says that he was born here himself, I think in Houston, but maybe his people are from Haiti, from what I understand. Don't quote me, I don't know. Black America said, he said, I see comments getting deleted, still don't believe in free speech. Ain't nobody deleting comments. I'm behind in the comments. See, you're always lying. Black America, one day I want to meet you so I can put you in a headlock and just one day when I come to Vegas, I'm gonna say I'm here. Meet me right here at the Bellagio or Treasure Island. I like lots of fun downtown Vegas myself. I'll meet you right there in the middle. You know where they have that zip line? I'll meet you right there in the middle, okay? But I'm behind in the comments, so it's my fault. I apologize. Hey, Frank, how you doing? I'm not meaning to skip over anybody. I promise you. I promise you. Let's see. And Tracy says, Miss K is not for Black folks either, but they were out there celebrating. Timothy, thank you once again for the donation. She says, I agree with Donovan. She would win. You know what? You better spell that lady name right. Wedding at Connor, how you doing? Oh my goodness. Jesse, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. T. Austin, what's going on with you? Laverne, he says, hi there, D&D. Been missing you guys lately. Much love. Yes, indeed. And don't be a stranger. Who else haven't I seen? I see you guys' comments, but I want to acknowledge everybody else that I have not seen. Brooklyn Bandit, where you been? He says the Mexicans thought that only the Venezuelans and the Cubans thought it would be the Mexicans, and Trump said, no, it's all of y'all. I mean, like I said, they don't talk about the Haitians that's getting gaffled up. People from, all countries in Africa, they don't talk about them. Asians getting snatched up. There's a lot of people getting snatched up, but for whatever reason, the main focus is on Latinos. It's like, well, everybody's getting snatched up. I think it's probably, maybe I could be wrong, it's probably more of Latino immigrants coming over here illegally than everybody else. And let's keep it a buck. I did a story a couple months back on a Nigerian here in Houston. He got interviewed esoterically, I would say, and he was like, listen, we've been through this before when Trump was in office. We just gonna lay low for 4 years, and then when he's out of office, we'll be back. So the point that I'm saying is everybody else know how to lay low. Latinos, not so much. It's like, dude, y'all trying to get snatched?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It would be simpler just to go home and wait it out. Why are you sitting here fighting when you know you took the risk and you got caught? Just go back. He's giving you an opportunity to go back, but they don't want to do that. It's just insanity.
Yeah, that's Bobby. That's too that stuck in my head too. I will vote for Donald Trump. It was like, okay, it is a catchy tune. They have good harmony and everything going on. Very catchy tune. John Curry, how you doing? Says the Haitian ICE fighting was a lie. It never happened. It was an old video that's been proven by Haitians that live in the area. Why are they lying? Just lying. I don't know. I guess maybe they think we'll believe it. I don't know, because there's videos everywhere nowadays, but they all got scrubbed from the internet from what they're saying. Tracy says, Demetra, what if you get there and Black America's only 5 feet tall? Some tell me he is. He like Rumpelstiltskin. That my clairvoyancy is telling me that Black America is not Black America us, but Black America, our beloved resident agitator. So my clairvoyancy is telling me, hold on, that he has Rumpelstiltskin energy. Y'all remember Rumpelstiltskin when he was mad that the lady guessed his name and he spun around and he spun a hole into the ground with anger? I'm getting that from Black America. I could be wrong, but I'll let you know when I meet him in downtown Vegas.
Now he's saying drop the link. He's saying drop the link.
Hell no. I'm not going to be putting up a Black America today. What I look like? See all this gray hair in my hair? I just cannot do it. I love you, Black America, because I know you're going to come on here with the foolishness, and we don't deserve that, but I do love you dearly. And Black America says the Fremont is downtown, not on the Strip. If you were younger, I would pay for you to get here. I'm younger. I'm young on the larger scheme of things. I'm young in regards to not being 90. So that got to count for something. Just another woman. How you doing? We getting silly now. I'm not going to drop the link. No, sir. No, because I already know you got all that energy saved up and you just, no. Maybe when I eat my Wheaties or something, I'll let you come on here. Terry Jones, how you doing? Says, sounds like roly poly. Yeah, he's saying roly poly is like Rumpelstiltskin. He sure gave me the Rumpelstiltskin treatment on Twitter one day. I was like, yikes. He called me everything but a child of God. I was all kind of idiots and all kind of stuff. I'm like, man, you act like I took your grandma cookies from you. And I did not. Jeanette, how you doing? Says they need to stop. Cloudness, you say, these people who are not FBA are such liars. Don't believe the hype. If they did fight ICE baby, says they would bring out the tanks and heavily artillery. Yeah, I mean, I was taking in word for it. Again, we didn't see any videos. They said they were scrubbed from the internet. But now y'all know if Haitians was whooping on ICE agents in the middle of Times Square. Now listen, the Venezuelans can do it because we've seen those videos, right? Remember we saw the videos of the Venezuelans whipping on the NYPD? But it had been some Haitians, man, Trump and them would have been like, we ride at dawn, okay? So we know that flat out, well, we're going to speculate that didn't happen. I don't know.
And real quick, are you guys aware that the big, beautiful bill actually gave ICE a budget bigger than most militaries in the world? That's how much of our tax dollars has to go. Think about this. We've paid billions of dollars to bring these people here and fund them, and we've got to pay trillions of dollars to get them out. They say the ICE budget is like the 30th or something like that largest budget in the world now.
Yeah, trillions is a lot. Dave, how you doing? Says Latinos have been given everything on a plate, from free housing to Medicaid, endless work. So political pushback from them towards the folks has, he says, caught them out. Yeah, no, I'm not really trying to be flued out. And the Diddy trial has proved why you men and some of you women to stop fluing women out, okay? And men, if that's your thing, you a sugar mama and y'all fly men out, y'all better stop. The Diddy trial has proved why that's not a good idea anymore, especially if you're going and getting horizontal after that person was flued out, right? Oh, I also want to touch on this before we leave. The Essence Festival took place this weekend. It's still kind of taking place, and man, it is tanking.
African owned. But go ahead.
It's tanked so bad, tanked terribly. Well, for one, you got a lot of things going on. You got the grifters who are boycotting the Essence Festival because Target is a sponsor. So they're like, oh my God, how dare you allow Target to be a sponsor? So we're not going to show up, right? You got Jamal Bryant, Tamika Mowry, you know, those people. They're not going to show up. Then the other part of that is, to Donovan's point, is an African-owned, it's an African CEO, it's a woman, and she married to a white woman. Okay, so the CEO, because the owner, and his name escapes me, but he got in some like Me Too trouble, but they debunked that. So he's like, okay, here, I'm gonna give it to a Kenyan woman who, again, is LGBTQ. She's married to a white woman. So these people are over the Essence Festival. Now, it also lost some traction because it used to be, if you want to understand, the Essence Jazz Festival. So it was a classy affair, you know, your aunties and your uncles, and they was out there. But then they started bringing Megan Thee Stallion, twerking her behind, and just bringing it down, right? This is when, and that brother, I think he's Nigerian. So when they got a hold of it, it's just a lot going on. And they said that the stadiums are empty. There's no lines for nothing. So I bring all that up because look at the power that Black Americans have, because that was a Black American thing first. Before it was bought by Richie Lou, that's the name, Richie Lou. Before he bought it, right? It was for us. Now, Essence Magazine also, they talked about things in the motherland too, so I don't want to say it was just for us, but they have usurped it and turned it inside out and thought they could give us anything, and Black Americans say, no, get somebody else to do it. You know, people from the motherland will show up or whatever, but we're not going to show up until we either get it back or y'all do it right. And something tells me they're not going to do it right. But right there, that should tell us the power that we as Black Americans have, because next year probably ain't going to be no Essence Festival if they don't get it together.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up real quick, because I know we got to get out of here and stuff like that. And it's been a great conversation with you guys. As usual, our co-hosts, thank you so much. And the moderators, thank you guys for trolling the trolls. Thank you. But since we're talking about the Essence Festival, let's talk about Carnival Cruise. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why it's called Carnival Cruise. I know you guys have seen the videos and the ratchetness and everything like that that's going on. Carnival Cruise is now the Spirit Airlines of the seas. And, you know, their price market has gone down to make it affordable to you know, everybody, whatever the deal is. But, you know, it is what it is. And it's just kind of a shame. I've never been on a cruise. But I'm going to go with Demetra and her sister next year and the family next year, and, you know, see how that is. The only cruise I've ever been on is a Navy ship. That's the only cruise I've ever been on. But I don't want you guys to be dismayed because Carnival Cruise is Carnival Cruise. Look at the title. It isn't Princess Cruises. It isn't, you know, Norwegian Cruise. It's Carnival Cruise. Let that be a warning to you.
Well, I would say this. I've been on several Carnival cruises. I was just on one not even a month ago, right? And I would say that, yes, there are some things that go on there that's unsavory, if you will, but I've never seen any fights on Carnival. And I know, unfortunately, that has been attributed to Black Americans, but I would tell you, one time that I was on there was white folks fighting in the bingo hall over bingo, okay? So you got to also remember the nature of a cruise is you're on a boat and there's a lot of people on that boat. So sometimes tempers flare and people are agitated, and, you know, you mix in a little of the foolishness, people with no emotional intelligence, right? And so, yeah, sometimes things happen. You guys also got to remember a lot of this stuff is being caught on videos or whatever, and it's being sensationalized. Like I do agree there's some things that we can talk about in regards to us, but I don't think that we should take ownership over fighting on the cruise, because it is not just us. It's everybody who does it. But like I said, I've been on quite a few, and I personally have never seen any fighting. The bingo hall fight took place with my sister-in-law and my niece were there playing bingo, and they witnessed it right in front of them, and it was white folks.
Yeah, and again, I wanted to say, I just said Carnival Cruise. I didn't say this person, this person, whatever. Just like Spirit Airlines, all kinds of people fly Spirit, but you get what you get, right? Because of the price marketing. Okay, so everybody's acting up. It's Carnival Cruise. Carnivals are fun and free for all and stuff, so things are going to start happening. So again, Black folks, continue to mind your business.
Absolutely. Nadoro, how you doing? So that was by Isaac Bryan, Assemblyman Isaac Bryan. If you go back to the beginning of this, you'll definitely see and hear him say it out of his own mouth, right? When I saw it, I was like, what the hell? Yes, Antoine says, Essence, I was definitely tone deaf. Yeah, they just give him anything, right? Just give them anything. And Black people's like, no, I'm not going to pay all that money to show up to foolishness. They even said that the concerts were so far behind that Lauryn Hill didn't get on to like 3:45 in the morning, and she wasn't late. Normally she is, but they said it wasn't her fault, that it was just so belabored. It's even Babyface got on late. It was just so out of order, unorganized. And they said that Lauryn Hill, and I saw it, perform to a nearly empty stadium, because like who's going to stay till 4 a.m. to watch anybody sing, right? Like I'm tired, you know? So it's just unorganized completely. And honestly, they should be ashamed of themselves to take something that was so out of Black excellence and run it into the ground like that, you know? Miss Weesey says, Carnival Cruise has turned ratchet. I'm still going to Jamaica on Carnival Cruise. Yeah, Carnival Cruise is nice. I love it as a vacation because it's all inclusive. You know, everything is there. It's really cool. I don't have a problem with it. Buckhorse, she says, I've seen fights. What? He says, I issue not. Okay. Siku says, the new Essence Festival owner thinks it's Black. No, it's FBA, right? Well, you see how that's working out for him, huh? Bish, how you doing? It says, Essence issue proves that people who are not FBAs and FBAs are not the same. Yeah, they just mixed up anything, right? Laverne says, I never cruise, not interested in one. You know what? I wasn't for a long time, and then I went. I was like, oh, I got to do this every year because I like it. You know, it's pretty cool. Joanne says, Demetria, usually they are not FBA, but people who are not FBA, since they look like us, the only time they want to be is and hand us their crime, never accept Blackness as a family. Okay. You have a great week as well, Tommy. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Khalil, Lauryn Hill. What did I say? Did I say something else? But Lauryn Hill, yeah. You said Lauryn Hill is fine. Yeah, she's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Black woman. Miss Sweets has a question for you.
Anytime. Let me know, and we'll make some arrangements.
I ain't heard nothing. Okay, I cannot be a witness to nothing. Only if it's for Miss Sweets. If she subpoenas me, I'll go gladly. Yes, Haiti, I heard him. Yeah, DJ, they tried to blame it on Target, but yeah, it's just poor representation, right? So anyway, Michael said, Demetria, have you thought about running for governor in Texas? Hell to the no, because you fully support cash payment reparations for Black Texans of chattel slavery. And hell no, they would have me strung up on a tree by high noon, and I'm not trying to have that. Sunlight says, can you please send the link to original I will vote for? The
original clip. Original clip.
I will vote for Donald Trump. It's somewhere. If you put it in on Twitter, Cuban singing Donald Trump, whatever, you'll see it. I probably see it probably every time that I'm on Twitter and don't want to see it. Brother Eddie says, does Target ship overseas? Asking for a friend. I'm sure that they do. Easy says, a Carnival for family and Royal Caribbean for adults. I've never been on Royal Caribbean, but yes, Carnival definitely is family oriented, right? Brother Arson, he says, is the link open tonight? We've been over here longer than we normally are, so we're gonna get out of here on that note. Donovan, you got anything to say before we go?
Yes, I want to say this to my brothers out there, especially those brothers that are above the age of 40. There's been a study that has gone out that has said, as you get older, your prostate's going to grow naturally, and of course, you're going to have, some people have those problems, whatever the deal is, and prostate health and cancer. Tomatoes is the solution. They say if you eat a lot of tomatoes, pasta, not pasta, but sauces and stuff, that has some kind of attribute that helps keep the prostate in a normal type state. So Google it, look it up. It's very important because a lot of Black men, our demise is that prostate. A lot of it does happen because of that if we get past 40 and we do that. So I want to pass that information on. You guys look it up. It's very important. I know right now you think, oh, no, not my prostate. But what if you're 70 years old? You know, I mean, it's eventually, it's naturally, it's going to get larger. But if you want to keep it, and just eating tomatoes, it isn't just eating a magic pill. You got to be exercising too. You got to be moving. So it's very important, you guys, to do that. I've been reading up on it. Definitely stewed tomatoes, lady. If you got husbands and stuff, you know, a lot of ketchup or, you know, things like that. Just use that stuff. So,
Tracy, you crazy.
prostate is not balls.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was interesting. That's okay,
Arson.
Arson.
Arson just showed up. So what up, Arson?
Yes, next time I will share the link. I'll be on here tomorrow by myself. I usually don't share the link by myself, but the next time that Donovan is here, I would definitely share the link. Honestly, how you doing? Says, thanks for keeping me alert on my way back to Houston from Austin. Well, safe travels to you. So anyway, love and appreciate. Thank you, Miss Sweets. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We will, when I say we, I mean me. We will see y'all tomorrow, 5 p.m. So be here. And I was trying to find something to rhyme with it, but I couldn't think of nothing. Anyway, love and appreciate y'all. Mad Dog. You say sea moss is good for your prostate. Y'all look all that up. Anyway, see y'all later. Peace.